Hey guys, I just wanted to do a little review with you on slope. So I've pulled one of the questions that you may see on one of your quizzes to go over a bunch of things with slope. Okay, so this particular question says, consider the slope of the line M that passes through the points -2 and 6 and 1 and 8. Okay, so the first problem says give the coordinates of 2 points that would generate a line with steeper slope than line M. Okay, so first of all, we define what the slope is. Now, I don't like that they use the letter M for the slope because, for the line, because that's usually the letter they use for slope. But that's what they did. Okay, so remember that to find your slope, you're going to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now all this formula means is that you're taking your second y from your point and subtracting the first y, and then taking the second x and subtracting the first x. Okay, so that's all it is. So you're just subtracting these numbers up here. Okay, so we're going to take our second y minus our first y. So we're going to go 8 minus 6. Okay, so then we're going to take our second x and minus our first x. So that's going to be 1 minus -2. Okay, and if you do minus the negative, that means it changes to a plus. So if I have, for my slope, for this line, I have 8 minus 6 on top, so that's 2, and then 1 plus 2 on the bottom, so that's 3. Okay, so that's my slope to start off with. So part A says that you have to give the coordinates of 2 points that would have a steeper slope than line M. Okay, in order to have a steeper slope, it has to be a bigger number than this one. Okay, easiest way to do that is you have to just think of it. Okay, you need to have, if it's going to be a steeper slope, you need to have a bigger number on the top and a smaller number on the bottom than this one. Okay, so like if we wanted our slope to be, say, 4, that's bigger than 2, over 2. Okay, so that would be the slope that we want. So that would give me a slope of 2. So then you have to find 2 points that have that slope. Now, on the computer, this isn't necessarily the easiest way, but you could always just write this out on paper. The easiest way to do that is going to be to draw a nice graph for yourself and then just plot some points. Okay, so I'll make it red. So I'm going to say, I'm going to start at 0, 0. That's always an easy point to start with. And if my slope is 4 over 2, or I can think of it as 2 over 1, however, whatever makes sense to you, but we'll go with 4 over 2. So that means I'm going to go up 4, because your top number is always how much you go up. So I'm going to go up 4, and I'm going to go over 2. Okay, so that means that point right there is going to be an x of 2 and a y of 4. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to draw this line, but it's probably not going to be very straight. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, that was a little better. Okay, so there's my line, but that would be the point. So the point, or the 2 points. So the 2 points that would have a steeper slope. So we started at the 0, 0. And then we went, our other point was 2 and 4. Okay, so then second part B, says give the coordinates of 2 points that would have generate a line with an opposite slope of line M. Okay, so an opposite slope, which that's again not a really great question, but typically what they mean when they say an opposite slope is you're going to be going the exact opposite direction. So you have to take this slope and we're going to flip it upside down and make it negative. Okay, so if we flip it upside down and make it negative, so that your slope then would be -3/2. So over here, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did for part B. I'm going to start at 0, 0. So that's going to be my first point. And then for this one, I have to go down 3 and to the right 2. Okay, so you have to think of this as a -3. So put the negative on the top, and then you're going to go to the right 2. Okay, so give myself some lines here. That means that I'm going to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3, and to the right 2. So there would be my point. And then here's my next attempt at a line. Whoa! Yeah, I'm so bad at these lines. Hopefully you can do them better when you're just drawing them. Okay, but that would be my line that would have an opposite slope of this first one. And I didn't graph this first line over here, by the way, so that one's not showing. Okay, but that would be my 2 points. So I would have 0, 0 again as my first point. And you could do any points you wanted, by the way, but this is how I'm doing it. Okay, and then you would have, you went to your x is 2, and your y is -3. Okay, so then you'd have 2 and -3. Okay, so then for part C, it says give the coordinates of a point on the vertical line that intersects line M at -2 and 6. Okay, so for this one, you don't have to draw it. You can draw it if you want, if that helps you, but this is going to be just as easy without drawing it. So I'm going to erase my graph over here. Now, if I have this line, okay, if I have a vertical line that's going through this point, okay, a vertical line means all of the x's have to be the same. So if I'm going through this point, that means no matter what other point I have, it has to have that x. Okay, because the vertical line is going to be x equals something. So in this case, it equals -2. So you can put any point in here as long as it starts with a -2. So it could be -2 and 5, it could be -2 and 12, -2 and -2, it could be -2 and 200, it doesn't matter. Okay, as long as your x is a -2, your second number can be anything, and that would be on that vertical line. Okay, so then part D is similar, except this time we're talking about a horizontal line. So for a horizontal line, if you're going to have a horizontal line, that means all of your y's are going to be the same. Okay, so if we're going to have a horizontal line across this line M, all of your y values have to be the exact same thing in order to have that horizontal line. Okay, so when you make your ordered pair, as long as it has a 6 in it, your x could be anything you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say 3, we'll say. And that would be a horizontal line. Okay, so that problem had a few different parts, but that really covers a lot of the things with slope. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in any way that you want to ask. And if you send me an email talking about what you learned in this video, you can always get extra credit. Hey, talk to you guys later.